Ruby, thank you so much for joining me on the show today. How are you?
I'm brilliant, thank you. Thanks for having me. How are you?
Very good, thank you. And I'm looking forward to chatting. Of course, coming off the back of your set at the Gathering Sounds over the weekend, or it might have been the weekend before. Now the time this is airing, but it was a great festival. How did you enjoy that?
You know what? I had such a good time. It was such a fun set. Because the venue is really cool. Like we played the Arc stage, like Arc stage one. And it's so cool. And it was really nice. We had like a full room. There's like good energy in the room as well. Yeah, it was a really cool set. I had loads of fun. It was really cool.
It
Loved
was
it.
such a great festival because it was like obviously you know yourself there's so many like different venues and different acts.
Mm.
I enjoyed doing my press there. It was a shame we couldn't speak to you afterwards, but we really enjoyed your set. But yeah, it
Thank you.
was a great little day. And did you say you played the Stockton Calling? Just
Yeah,
off
yeah,
the-
we pl
yeah.
played Stockton Corner in April and we played the Social Room, which is another cool little
Oh
venue.
yeah.
Yeah, like the I don't know what the cap is, but it's like a smaller one, but it's really nice. It's like a little like a funky vibe in there, and we had a great set there as well last time. So yeah, Stockton, to be fair, like we always have a good set in Stockton. Like the crowd's always good. So yeah.
Yeah, that social room. Yeah, because we actually seen Zuzu in there. Later,
Yeah, she headlined, didn't she, on the in
later on
that
in the yeah in the
yeah,
night.
yeah.
It was kind of like it's almost like something from a circus in there, but it's very very cool. Yeah, but I want to do what I do with all of my music guests today. I always like to learn a little bit about the background of where you came from in music, how you found your love for it, your early influences. So where did it all begin for you in music, Ruby?
Um Okay, so it was like I was 13 when I first picked up a guitar. I'd always like had like a little an interest in learning. Like I'd always wanted to be able to play an instrument. And guitars like was the coolest of them all. So I got this like secondhand guitar that my dad had. He didn't play, but he had it. Um, and I went on YouTube, started learning how to play, and I was just practicing every day in my room. And then try to sing, which I wasn't the best at back then, but like it worked for when I was 13, I guess. Yeah, and I was like just at that age of discovering music, like proper music. I discovered indie music when I was 13. Like I was really into the Arctic Monkeys and like the Strokes and bands like that. And I was like watching Alex Turner do from the Arctic Monkeys doing their set at, I think it was Tea in the Park, or it might have been Glastonbury, but like back in the day. And I was watching it, I just thought like how cool, and I was just like I wanted to do something like that, and the way that he wrote his songs just amazed me. Yeah, so that kind of really inspired me to like, stop doing it myself. And I went to open mic nights like every week with my dad. Um in this little pub in Stoke called the Old Brown Jug, which is this tiny room. And my granddad came with me, and I sang a song in front of like three people. And I was so nervous, but I did it, and then I loved it, and we kept coming back. And it's like great practice for like people that are just starting out, because it's like an audience to like test out on. And then yeah, I never looked back really. Started doing more gigs and practiced more and got better at guitar and singing, and then here I am today. Yeah.
Absolutely, and I've spoken to a few other people about that journey, almost starting at open mic nights and then kind of building the way.
Yeah, yeah.
After doing them, did you kind of almost get the bug for it and thought this is what I really want to do? And when was it you started writing your own songs?
Probably not long after I started doing guitar, so it's probably like just turning 14 maybe. Um yeah, probably then. And they weren't like the best songs, but yeah, I it was something that I used to really enjoy. I used to like have fun doing it, and I used to try and write songs about, because I was in school at the time, obviously. And I was writing songs based on like things that are happening around me at school. Like I used to write songs about people from school and like stuff that used to happen in the day. Like because you're surrounded by constant different things happening all day, so it's kind of like a great place to like be in. For just starting to write, it used to really help me, like story writing and stuff. And I still write like kind of in that way now, to be fair. Yeah.
So yeah, I was going to ask that. So are you kind of like a real life writer almost, like right, right?
Yeah.
real events. Yeah.
Yeah, so like it's really fun storytelling, but then it's also really fun like creating fictional stories and then writing around that because you can go anywhere with it. Like a friend of mine, Ren, he's like the same, and like the way that his brain works when he's writing is like so impressive. Like we had a writing session last year, and we wrote like a couple of songs together. We wrote like a slow ballad and like a fast like bluesy song, and writing with people that are at that level is so great. And to be able to watch him in his like zone was like so cool. But yeah, different types of writing is cool to have. Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine if you've got the best of both worlds, that's obviously really cool. And
Mm.
I wanted to ask, how did you kind of decide on the sound you wanted to incorporate into your music? Because of course you mentioned some of the like the classic indie bands like Arctic Monkeys, The Strokes, but I think you've also got a lot of other different sounds
Yeah, definitely.
in there as well. Like I think there's all,
Mm.
would you like, speaking of yourself, would you say like almost a soul element and a few
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
100%. Um, yeah, so it took me a while to kind of like figure out the kind of style of music that I wanted to make. Like because when I was 13 and I started like playing guitar, released music when I was probably 15, 14. So I kind of just like put out what I was like doing and like just starting to do. So it's already like out there. And then but I wasn't like set on like the sound that I didn't even know what sound I wanted. I was kind of just writing songs and putting them out. And then I had a session with Miles Kane's band in
Hmm.
Hackney last year, I want to say. Who Oscar and Dave, their names are, and it's like his drummer and bass player. And we had a session, and wrote. Well, I wrote. I already had the song. Um, we created. They produced a song that I'd written called "Try," and it's probably one of my favorite songs that I've released so far. And it's like a song that's like full of soul and like jazz. And that's when I kind of knew, well, I definitely knew the direction that I wanted to go down with my music. Um, I'd been listening to lots of like old school Motown and like soul, blues, stuff like that. All the classics. And that's like the moment that I knew that I wanted to have like, yeah, like the soul and blues element. And I've been doing it more in the stuff that'll be released soon is of that, and it represents my music direction now the best that it does, because the stuff on Spotify at the minute, like I haven't released music for like a year, so I'm excited to put out where we are now musically, into the world. But yeah, you're definitely right with the soul stuff. That's my vibe now. Yeah.
So you've almost like put a pin on the direction you want to go in now, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what's
definitely.
going to be coming up. But
Yeah,
I want to go back to some of the early stuff, and on Spotify, "Annoys" your first single that was released. How was it
yeah.
putting that out into the world?
Yeah, like I said, that I was probably about 14 then when that came out. So I was just putting it out. I was writing and I was like, I'm just gonna put it out and see how it does. And it's great because you can look back and listen to the songs and see the journey of like how it like have developed like songwriting wise and musically and vocally. Um yeah, it's quite funny. I just released it and I just kept doing it. I was writing other songs. There's like a few indie songs that I wrote, indie songs I wrote. And then Try was like the first song that properly like solidified the sort of style that I was heading with. And I'm still now, but it was, yeah, I just guess I wasn't really afraid to kind of put music out. Even though I hadn't found the lane that I wanted to go down yet, but it kind of helps, like the more that you write, the more that you know what you suit best.
I bet it kind of helped that you had obviously the experience though of releasing songs and putting
Yeah,
them out there.
definitely.
I bet that helped.
Yeah, it did.
Did you find any time during the pandemic to make music when everybody was stuck at home for a while?
I did a lot of stuff on social media because it's like the only thing that we could do as
Yeah.
musicians, obviously, because we couldn't do gigs. So I downloaded TikTok and I put loads of videos up of like me doing covers and they like blew up, which was really cool. Like I got a million views on a couple of videos, and I was like doing that for ages and like live stream and most nights. I also wrote a lot of songs. I wrote a song called Slit Talking, which is the
Mhm.
second song I'd say that was like went after Try, that was like in that soul direction, like jazzy direction, which is just, I still love that song now. Um I wrote that song in the lockdown actually. So yeah, I wrote a lot, got a lot better because I was always in my room playing because I had nothing else to do, obviously. It's kind of like a blessing in disguise. Like obviously it was a huge bad thing, but it was kind of great in a way because I could like lock myself away and get better. And then when the lockdown finished, it was like, you know, had more songs and I could guess I could sing better, play better. Everyone was like so hungry for like a live show. So all the live shows when the pandemic ended were just like amazing, like different levels.
Yeah, I agree. I like what you said there about it being a blessing in disguise. I think that's yeah, it's a good way of putting it because obviously you spoke over there about getting better at the music and everything. It's what happened for me was because I was still in school during like the pandemic and obviously
Yeah.
we had a lot of time off and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. It was just like kind of it twigged with me that like listening to
Mm.
all this music made me decide right I want to do something in music and then I I,
See? Yeah.
I couldn't really do anything like I wasn't talented but I thought radio because obviously people were listening to like the radio all the time and everything. And
Yeah.
I eventually began a podcast, and then yeah, so it's kind of like one of them things, really.
Yeah. Like it's obviously it was a devastating thing. It was
Mm.
horrible, but like
Yeah,
it had its perks, you know. Everyone could kind of we had so much time on our hands to do whatever, whatever we could in within reason, being trapped inside a house.
yeah. I think for like us creative people, it was like
Yeah,
the good thing with being locked down was we had plenty of time.
exactly. Yeah.
So TikTok then was that good for kind of building a following coming out of the lockdown?
Yeah.
TikTok
Yeah,
was like
definitely. It
I
gave me
still
something. So you go. You go.
I was gonna say I still don't know how to really use it, but I remember it was just like massive in COVID times for people.
Yeah, it was really good for musicians and artists because it's like you can go viral within like a day. Like it's crazy. Like and there's even been like artists that have launched their career during a pandemic through TikTok, which is like insanely cool. Like it's such a good tool to have, to get your music out there and share it with people. As hard as it is to use, because like the algorithms and they want you to like constantly be posting. And like when I remember when I went back to school, like I just didn't have enough time to stay on top of it, and then like the views went down and everything. But I still use it now. But yeah, it's such a good tool for like the musicians that wanted to like get the music out and gain new fans and stuff. And it was like the only thing that we had to do in the pandemic was like look at screens.
Yeah,
So it was really good. It was really helpful. I didn't even like I posted the video like with no intention of it getting any views. I just did it out of fun because it was like new at the time. And then it like yeah, I posted a video of like a Harry Styles song, which like I wouldn't even do now, but I did because it was trending and I posted it. And then like I went downstairs for my dinner and then it came back up and it was like it blew up. It was yeah, it was crazy. Good.
yeah. It was certainly a strange time though. But
Yeah.
I want to speak about now coming out of obviously that lockdown and everything. How was it for you when obviously you were saying there was people who were hungry for live shows and everything? How did and
Mm.
how long after the COVID lockdown was your first live show?
Oh, good question. You know what? Oh God, I can't even. What? Oh, it was a little festival in Stoke, which isn't far from where I live, and it was really cool. They had this like cool venue. It's called the Sandwich Club, and they do like the coolest like sandwiches. But anyway, but they have like an outside in there like um outside they have like a venue type thing. It's like an outdoor venue, like really small. And I played a set there and we were like dancing on the tables and it was really cool. It was so much fun. I think that was the first thing I did after the lockdown. I've just remembered that. It was really cool. It was fun.
Yeah, and of course you have gone on to do a lot more since then. Of course, appearing,
Yes. Yeah.
supporting some great acts, and then appearing at some festivals as well this year. Of course, how's this year been? Because it was obviously there was this year and last year, which were kind of the two full years. Because obviously that COVID
Yeah.
year we only had half, but then like last year and this year we've had like 2 full years almost of like full live music again after it was, of course, stopped.
Yeah. This year's been like amazing. It's been so much fun. It's the first year like shows that I've done with my band. Like I've been playing solo acoustic like ever since I started, and we had the amazing opportunity to support the Lathams in March and on the UK tour, which was like the most amazing experience ever. And the first shows were the first shows that I'd ever done with my band, who were like amazing. They're brilliant, and I love them. They're really great, and they're so much fun to play with. And they're really talented musicians. And we did the first thing we ever did together was the Latham tour, which was amazing. It was so much fun. We played to like some great audiences and some big stages. And then what did we do? We've had like festival season. So we played Wine Night Festival. We played a really cool one called Secret Garden Party, which is I can't remember where it is, but it's a good one. Um, whereas we played like all over the country this year. It's been pretty mad and it's been really fun. We've had like it's really brought us together, you know, as musicians. And it's been so much fun. I didn't think I'd be doing this last year, but here we are. Yeah, it's been a really great year, and we've got still got shows left to do. Yeah, really busy, but great.
And how has it been performing with a band for like this year?
It's so much fun. Like it's obviously it's completely different. So I've been so used to just being me acoustic and having to like kind of perform more because you're on your own and you like as an acoustic artist you want people to listen to you because most people kind of I don't know you get to a gig and people look at an acoustic artist and they're just like sort of talking which is like it happens all the time you can't help it so you kind of have to like uh overcompensate by being extra good. So I've been used to doing that ever since I started. And this year I've got this big loud band with like a brass section and stuff. So people
Yeah.
shut up now. But yeah, it's been so much fun. Like I said, they're really great musicians. We've got a really cool sound going at the minute. And it's been amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, the band was certainly fantastic on Saturday when I seen you at the
Yeah, yeah.
Gathering
Thank you.
Sounds. Is it good
I'll
having
pass it on.
kind of the social element as well? Because I'd always like to think if you're like a touring musician, it's good having a band with you and you can kind of have a laugh on the road.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like they're great guys. Like half of them are from Leeds, so and then half of them are like from Stoke, and then there's me from Stafford. So like the only time we're together is when we're doing shows and stuff. And yeah, it was really fun. Like because when we did the tour with the Lathams, obviously it's the biggest shows I'd ever done, and it was the biggest stuff that they'd ever done, and we got to do it all together, like all week. It was like a 5-day tour, I think it was, yeah, in like one week, and it was so much fun, and it really does bond you together, especially musicians. Like the biggest bonding you can do as a musician is play like, a big tour together, you know. Yeah, it's really fun. It's really cool.
Yeah, I can imagine it was really fun. But of course, coming off the back of some great gigs this year and many festivals, you have got a new single out
I
this
do.
Friday. Single coming out this Friday called Home. Could you tell me a little bit about that, Ruth?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I've not released music for like a year, so I'm so excited to finally be putting out some music. It is the first song from my debut EP, which will be out in December. December 15th is when the EP drops, and it's called Backtrack. But yeah, the first single is called Home. It's probably my favorite song off the EP, maybe second favorite best, I don't know. But it's slowly becoming my first best. And we play it at the end of each set. So you we would have seen it. We played it at Gathering Sounds, and it's such a fun song to play live. It was inspired by like like Motown classics, and it's like got the Motown beat, and everyone dances. And yeah, I wanted like a really cool Motown-y song to be in the set with big horns and stuff. And I'm really proud of it. And we produced it with in Stoke this time, so it was local with the lovely Mark Eden is his name, and he has a lovely studio, and me and the band recorded it. And yeah, it'll be out this Friday. Yeah, and I'm really excited for everyone to hear it because it kind of well, it portrays my musical sound, my current musical sound, because it, like I said, my Spotify's kind of outdated at the minute. So the new stuff really like shows it like translates to what we do live, but on the record. So yeah, I'm so excited for it to be out. I am sick of hearing it because I've been listening to it for ages in the mixes and stuff back and forth in the studio. But no, we always enjoy playing it live. It's the last song of the set, so we always use up all our energy on the last song, and then yeah, it's a good tune. It's a good tune.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear it. We'll be sure to play it on the show. But I bet it's going to be nice for you to kind of get it out as well, and then people can actually go away and listen. Because of course, like sometimes when there's unreleased songs in the set, people sometimes think, "Oh, I
Yeah,
like that,"
exactly.
but they can't go and like kind of learn the
Yeah,
lyrics anyway. So I bet it'll be nice for like that as
yeah,
well, like for kind of get people familiar with the lyrics and everything once they can go and listen back.
yeah, definitely. Because we put like half the set is like the EP, which is cool because loads of people have heard it now live. We played it on the Latham's tour. Um, so yeah, it's gonna be great to finally put it out so people can listen to it in their ears.
Absolutely. And is there anything else you'd like to add about the EP, Ruby?
Uh, ooh, I feel like I should have something to say. Well, it'll be out December 15th. It's got loads of good tunes on it. You can probably be able to pre-save it. It's probably when this is out. And Home comes out this Friday. This Friday. So pre-save that and listen to it. Do what you want with it. The good tunes. I hope that people enjoy it, and I'm very proud of them. Yeah.
And to coincide with this, have you got any shows planned or anything for the rest of the year?
Shows. What do we have coming up? We're supporting Scout for Girls
Right,
at
right.
Keele Uni, so it's a local one for me. It's in Keele University. What else do we have? There's loads of stuff. It's all on my Instagram and my socials, so I shouldn't know it on my head, but go and have a look.
Don't worry, we all forget things. But of course, mentioning social media there, would you like to tell people where they can go and find your music and listen to it?
Yeah, so my name is Reba J, the letter J. If you type Reba J official on everything, then I will appear somewhere. Yeah, that's me.
Fantastic. And so same on social media and Spotify.
Yeah, yeah.
Fantastic. And I can't wait to hear the songs when they're officially released because your set was fantastic at the Gathering Sounds. And I'd just like to thank you so much for coming on the show today and chatting, Ruby.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's been really fun. Nice chat.